Yeah, hi Ralph, how you doing?
Yeah, thank you. I'm okay, and you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Can we just check on the fitness situation first? Armstrong, Long, and Walcott, are they available? And how's Smallbone doing?
Yeah, I will start with the positive things. The positive thing is that Will is in the team session the whole week now. Looks good and is very happy that he's back on the training ground with the team. Longy is also back in the squad since yesterday, and with Walcott and Armstrong, they're still out with injury, so it will take a little bit of time to come back for them.
Sure. Interesting match last night between your old club, RB Leipzig, and City. Spectacular match. And afterwards, Pep was saying Southampton and Leipzig are actually quite similar. But how are you going to avoid a similar kind of result on Saturday?
Yeah, this is always the key, you know. I was texting with a few guys in Leipzig, and we had a very similar game last season there, where we lost 5-2, and we had a very good start and conceded the first goal after 15 minutes, and then you know what you cannot do against this team. When the pressing is not perfect, then they pop you, and then you are definitely losing. If you sit deep and they have time to play you around, it's also not clear that you get away with something countable. But we have also shown in the past that when we have a perfect match, that we can win against them. And you need a perfect or nearly perfect game. And the week was good because we had time to prepare. It's a perfect week. You have a whole week to work on things. You have a game on Wednesday evening where you can watch a little bit of what you can do or what you can't do. So finally, the perfect time to prepare for a game, but it's still Man City, and you can prepare as good as you want. You are always facing the best quality you can imagine, and yes, that makes it so difficult. Yes.
Yeah, and Pep's been paying you quite a few tributes. He was saying last night as well that he wants more City fans to come to the ground on Saturday because not enough were there last night. And he was saying that Southampton are so dangerous with quality. You know what it takes to beat them, Ralph, last year. Can you do it again on Saturday?
That's nice. The warm words from Pep you normally get after the game when he has won, so it's a little bit new that you get it before the game. But yeah, I enjoy these games, to be honest. It's against Pep. It's always poor football. It's poor tactic. It's so demanding for everything you do. The whole work doesn't give you any room for anything else than thinking about the game. When you wake up in the morning and when you go to sleep, then you have always the shape and the position and the players in the mind, what you can do, how you can do it. And even this doesn't give you a guarantee that you get something. So it's poor football, it's poor Premier League, it's highest level, and this is why you want to do this job. And yes, although it's when you feel yesterday in the evening with the opponent and you see how hard they try, and it's still not enough to take something against them, and then you know how tough it is. But yeah, this is the challenge, and this is the thing we like.
Just one last one from me. Armando Broja came off the bench against West Ham, did really well. He's come off the bench now a couple of times. He's only 20. Is he ready for a start in the Premier League, do you think?
A few players are ready for a start, I think, now. And the good thing for me is that I have the choice. This is what I didn't have last season. Last season, when you have been fit, you have played. So now we have a lot of qualities, what we can need or can try. It's not so much about who deserves to play. It's more about what you need to play and what quality you need. And this is what I told the players today also, that it sometimes maybe looks a little bit unfair in the future when you're not playing because you did a good job in the last game. But when you need something different against this opponent, then we have now the opportunities to change, and this is what we need.
Thanks, Ralph. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, Becky Ives at PLP.
There we go. Hi, sorry, Ralph. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Fabulous, thank you. Look, going into a game like Man City, is the pressure off this game, and the only pressure that you feel is the pressure you put on yourselves?
No, the pressure is even more, I think, because you know what you are facing, and that means that you have to do it very, very, very good. And if not, then they show you immediately every space you are not protecting at one moment can kill you. And the slightest mistake, they are able to take a benefit out of it. And this makes it so tough. And this gives you stress, definitely. But yeah, as I said before, these are the challenges you want to have as a player, and you want to compete with the best in the world. And then there's nothing better than to make a good game against such a team.
Well, you said after the West Ham game as well that you defended in a slightly different way and you were really pleased with how that went. Is that now the bar set, the level set, and that's what you now need to build on?
If it would be so easy, that would be nice. But every team has different strength, and that doesn't mean that you now play with this shape in all the time. It worked quite well, but yeah, we must have a look. I don't want to speak too much about what we have planned, but to surprise Pep doesn't really take long, because then he finds an answer for it. It can be that it is a tactical, very variable game from both sides, and yeah, we are ready for this battle, hopefully. And the goal is to keep the game open as long as possible.
Well, how's the week been in training? I know you said you've had a whole week and it's allowed you to work on certain things, but is there quite a positive atmosphere after the West Ham game?
Yeah, in general, I must say that we have this season a very work-oriented mentality in the team, and it's enjoyable for me as a manager, for all the staff to work with the guys. It's a good atmosphere, and yes, nobody expects that we now take the first win against Man City, but this is also the chance, and nobody expects something from you, and you can go there without, if you want to say, the big pressure to win, you must win there, but the next two away games are definitely maybe the most difficult in this season, against Man City and then against Chelsea. So we must be ready for it. And we had a good week to prepare. This is all we can do. And then we must show the best possible performance.
Lovely, Ralph. Thank you. Good luck.
Yeah, good.
Okay, Adam Blackmore, Radio Solent.
Ralph, good afternoon to you.
Hello, Adam. Good afternoon.
I hope you're well.
Yeah, thank you. And you?
I'm all right, I think. Yeah, looking forward to Saturday. It's sometimes tests the commentary when the ball's being passed 4,000 times on the halfway line, but we'll get there.
Sure, but okay, let's have a look.
Let's hope not. I'm interested, you know as well as I do, that nobody so far at the Etihad has conceded less than 5. Norwich, Arsenal and Leipzig at 16 goals. And we've talked about the fact we know you can give them a good game, and you've beaten them at home and pushed them at the Etihad in the past. So what as a manager is the minimum you accept at full time from the game? Even if you can't win it, what's the minimum you accept, either from your team or from the result?
Yeah, it would be very nice when the game plan would work, but we find a way to let them struggle a little bit. And to keep the game open. And when the game is open, also yesterday you had the feeling that every time when they score the goal, it's still something possible. I think the problem was that they conceded immediately a goal again, and then it's easy for City. As I said, it is still a team, also when they play during the week, they have enough quality to go over it. They have enough options on the bench. They can rotate, and they have fresh players on the pitch. So I don't expect them to be tired or taking us as an easy game. I know that they are taking it fully serious. I know Pep, that he will come with everything they have. And and then it's always tough to compete. And this is the good thing in football. We have seen in the past that we have also some qualities, and we must believe in what we are doing. A lot of teams do this, I know, and then in the end they are losing games. We want to be in a fair and in a footballing way nasty team to play against, and with all the behaviors and automatism we try to create this week. And then you need luck. You need, in the right moment, the ball makes a good save from the goalkeeper, and everything what you need to take something and positive you need.
Of course, it's the first of 2 away games in 4 days. And you've had a week to build up, as you said, but then you're not going to have much time to turn around for a cup tie. And I'm sure you'd like a cup run again. So you've got a better squad. How, are you balancing that squad over the 2 games in your mind, or are you just focusing on City and the rest afterwards? You worry about it Sunday?
Full focusing on City, because this is the game to play now. And as I said earlier, definitely it can be that we have a few changes, because not that players don't deserve to play, but because I need different qualities maybe on some positions. And I have this alternatives in the moment. That doesn't mean that it's a guarantee that we take something, but hopefully rises the chances massively.
One player I wanted to ask you about, we haven't really had a chance to speak about, is Moussa Djenepo, who started every game this season in the Premier League. It's his best run in the team since last year. So what's happened to his game? We've always, been concerned about his consistency or his fitness when we're talking about him. He's got so much talent. What's he added to make you trust him for, start every Premier League game so far this season?
I think the preseason with playing him on the left-back position helped him massively, because he could show how strong he is also in defending 1-against-1. And this, adding to his offensive qualities, makes him a very complete package on the 10 position for me. And this is the reason why in the end it was absolutely helpful for him, although he didn't like it to play in the preseason on this full-back position. But I always told him that it's never a disadvantage when a manager see that you can play more positions than only one. It's very often an advantage, because then you see the complete package. And this is something that he used for showing up. He stays fit now since a long time. He is fit. He can run. There's no small injuries or something like that. He's fitter than in the last year or in the last 2 years. And then in the end, rises your chances of being in the starting 11.
Great stuff. Thank you, Ralph. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
Okay, you and Abrahams.
Hi, Ralph. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. And you?
Yeah, not too bad. No wins so far this season. Any pressure on you going to Manchester City?
Now it must happen, definitely. That's for sure. And when it's not now, then I don't know. What do you want from me? Let I go here now. When we don't win now, then it's time to stop or whatever. We will try.
I just wondered if you felt a little bit more pressure, that was all.
As I said before, I cannot imagine to have more pressure than in front of a game or before a game like Man City away, what is maybe one of the most difficult the whole season. So there's enough pressure. It's not about how many wins we have taken before or after or whatever. We have 1 win in the cup. We had 3 draws in a row now in the league. Yes, especially in the last game, the chance was there to win. It was always tight, but you can see the glass half full or half empty, however you want. It's clear that we need wins to make bigger steps forward, and every week we have a chance to do it. And this for the next 34 games or 3 games in the Premier League. So let's try it every week.
City tried to buy Harry Kane in the summer, but didn't. But it doesn't seem to stop them scoring goals. And in fact, Pep is sort of credited with creating this kind of false number 9. You've always liked to play with strikers. Do you see a role for both in the game? Always having a number 9 and having a false number 9?
I see that Man City is not really struggling without having Harry Kane. This is what I see. I know that some people are speaking about the last part of the puzzle that it is missing with a really 9 in this team. Yes, it can be. Although, as I said, I cannot imagine that they are even more successful like they are now. Yes, they didn't win the Champions League, but as I said, they scored enough goals. I think it's not about scoring goals, but what they have missed sometimes. So I see this team super strong also without a real 9. But maybe in the future it will come to the point that Pep says, I need this player, I want this player, and I'm sure that they will go one time for it. But as I said, I don't have a feeling that it is now easier to play against them because they don't have. So let's have a look.
And finally, earlier you said that to beat them, you have to play the perfect game. I guess that involves a little bit of luck, but you also said that you enjoy these tactical battles.
Yes, this is, I think, why the Premier League is so special. Every weekend you have to face fantastic opponents, very experienced, fantastic managers, and finally, it's the feeling before a game is a mixture of enjoying what is coming up, a little bit, high respect about the opponent, knowing how difficult it is, but always hoping for the big surprise for everybody.
Good luck this weekend, Ralph. Thank you.
Okay, Jim at PA.
Hi, Ralph.
Hello.
Can I just check on what Theo Walcott's and Stuart Armstrong's problems are? Can you give us any more info? Because I think last time you just said it was a muscle problem, but
only muscle problems, more or less intense ones. But I think it will not take that long until they are back. So they're not big muscle problems, but the smaller ones. But in the moment we have also the alternatives, so don't to take risks, not to push them too hard to come back, give them all the time they need to come back, because we have enough alternatives, especially on these positions.
with Walcott, sorry, is that thigh or is it a thigh problem, calf problem with Walcott? Or
Yes, and Stewie also with the calf.
okay,
A little bit blood still in there, and will take a few more days, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks to come back, but give him the time he needs.
Okay, thanks. When you mentioned about that you took in the City game and had a chat with the guys at Leipzig, what can you actually learn from seeing a team beaten as heavily as Leipzig were?
Yeah, I mean, you see nothing that you don't know so far. So you see that the pressing is not 100% perfect. They find a way through because of their high ball speed, of their very good leaving and refilling of spaces. When you're too man-oriented, then it is not working. When you are not brave enough, it's not working. When you are half a second too late, they pop you. So if you don't do it perfect, better don't do it because it doesn't work. If you do it, then you can still cause some issues, some troubles. We have shown this in the past. But as I said, there will come the moment where you also have to defend deep and around the box. To stress them, you need also in the offense a good quality on the ball. It will not help when you run 90 minutes without the ball, so you also have to play football. In some moments, their pressing is also well known. If you want to see a side that nearly plays everything or can do everything, they are this team, and to face such a team is always a very tough challenge, but an interesting one.
Just finally on that balance, then, how difficult is it for you to get that over to the team, not to just go there and defend and have damage limitation, because you've got to go there and give City something to worry about as well, haven't you? Or try to.
We always try to give the opponent also a few moments where they have to worry about us, but in the end, it will not help only to press high. It will also not help to stay always around the box, because we have played this game there also. We have been tied to take something, yes, but they had also, I think, 20 shots on goals in this game. So this it's hard to defend. We have seen different ways of teams playing against them. Everybody tried something else. Very often they had, in the end, also the win in their hands. So you can play a perfect game, and even there you lose. So because of the individual quality and the right moments to finish the game. But we are not thinking like this. We are always believing in us, what we are doing, and going there with a good balance of braveness, but also a good balance of respect, and finally, doing what we can do.
That's great. Thanks very much. I like the glasses as well, by the way. I thought they look good. Better than mine. Yeah. That's a good look.
Now
Better than these.
This is good.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, you can probably just see shining off my head. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we will move on to the section embargoed for 10:30 this evening, and we'll start off with Dan Sheldon at The Athletic.
Thank you, Jordan. Good afternoon, Ralph.
Good afternoon.
I imagine your defence could be quite busy at the weekend, given you're playing against Man City. Mohamed Salah obviously played well against West Ham. I just want to know, last year was a bit of a struggle for him. He came with an issue and didn't play for a while. What were your conversations like with him last season? Was it about telling him his chance will eventually come and write this year off, next year will be different? Were they the conversations you were having?
Yeah, very similar to the conversations I have in a moment with Leandro, that he's a long-term project, and it always takes a little bit to get adapted what we are doing, and this is normal. Sali was injured in the beginning, so it took a little bit longer to get the step in the Premier League, but now he has shown that he is the defender we want to have, and I'm very happy to see how he developed his game, especially also with the ball. He tried hard to develop his game, and yes, this is now a better package, definitely, and this is a player we wanted to have.
Do you feel like a strict parent at times? I imagine when Salah was fit and ready to go last season, he was probably itching to play, whereas you're bearing the bad news and saying, not now, wait your turn. Is it a bit like that kind of, you're strict and you have to keep them in check?
Yeah, I mean, this season, as I said before, it will be very often that players must wait for the chance to play, or suddenly it comes very quickly because we have a special tactic in our mind what is fitting to this or this player. And when we play back five, we automatically play with three players there. So when Jan Bednarek is also playing, and when we are not playing a back five, I have also the choice to do. But 4 centre backs are the minimum you need to have in a season. We have this now, and we need everybody because we have a lot of games coming up.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you.
Okay, Alfie House.
Good afternoon, Ralph.
Good afternoon.
I just wanted to ask a little bit about Tino Livramento. There's been a little bit of talk about him possibly going sort of further up the pitch, which would allow you to start him and Kyle Walker-Peters together. Do you see his future sort of in a wide midfield role at all?
The last sentence I didn't understand. Please say it again.
Do you see Tino's future as a sort of a wide midfielder a little bit?
Good question. I'm sure that he could play this position now also, I think. The question is always where you can bring his qualities the most to shine, if you want. This is the goal I have to look at every week. He has his qualities up front. It's because he's so quick, but he's also defensively very strong. And you know that on these positions in the Premier League, they are very often very, very strong 1-against-1 players. And there he was, for me, in some moments, the better options now than Kyle, who did last season a very good job. And no, I think I have a very good combination. I have also Jan Valery there, who is defensively strong and has a very good physique. On the other side with Romain, and now Kyle on the other side, also two good players, two good alternatives. Darius Moore was coming in, a young lad. We have now on the fullback positions 5 players, if you want, in the future. This is the future for the club, and these are players. They will definitely, they have all their chances to play, and they will get the chances to play, and this is the good thing. And then on the 10 position, I have the same issue. When I put Tino one up, then I have there 5 players, and then I must put somebody else. And there are also players that want to play like Stuart Armstrong, Theo Walcott, or Nathan Redmond, Moussa Chanep, or Mo Edonoussi. So we have enough players on this position. It's no need to put him up front. That doesn't mean that it will not maybe come a game where he has to play there one time. Maybe.
Okay, absolutely. And just on Tino again, his confidence with the ball at his feet is particularly impressive for somebody so young. I'm sure you'd agree. But I wanted to know if he has that same confidence when it comes to communicating with his teammates, sort of shouting and forming on-field relationships in the training ground as well.
When you know me, that you know that I don't. I'm not a big fan of big shouting on the pitch or taking, I don't know, leaderships on the pitch or whatever. Run, play football, and do what we ask you to do. then you do a good job and keep your breath you have for running and not for shouting. It's better, I think.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Ralph. Cheers.
Okay, go to Tom Leach.
Thank you, Jordan. Hello, Ralph. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. And you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I remember the first Man City game last season. It was one of the games where we had the 2,000 fans back at St Mary's. Danny Ings went off, I think it was bang on half time, and Nathan Tella is who you turned to bring on, and he had a really good second half. Mm-hmm. We've not seen that much of Nathan this season. He nearly got on against West Ham, I know, right at the end. What does he need to do to get back in that side? I know you've already mentioned the depth that there is there. There's so many good players already in that position, but what does he need to do to get amongst that pack?
Yes, I mean, we have seen that Nathan was definitely the young player that was the far developed from everybody, and had very good impacts in the preseason. Also, I'm also a little bit disappointed in the moment that I cannot give him more chances to play. The games we are playing in the moment are not so perfect for him. I think he's more for me in the moment the alternative for Adam Armstrong, who does a very good job up front. He will get his chances to play. We have a lot of alternatives up front, so it's not so easy. But I have him still on my list. And as always for the young player, he must consistently work hard and show up, and then he gets chances to play. And I'm sure that he will make his games this season also in the Premier League.
It's interesting you say there that you see him as an alternative to Adam Armstrong, because my follow-up was going to be, where do you see him fitting in? Because we saw during pre-season, I think against Cardiff, he almost looked like a second striker to Che Adams. Do you see him going down that route, being potentially a number 9 as opposed to a number 10?
I must say that on the 10 position, he also has his qualities to play there, because he is very energetic and has a very good ability to work against the ball and to run back and sprint back. On this position, it's sometimes, but also very important to keep the ball a little bit cooler. And I think he's more like a young horse who wants to go and wants to run and wants to come in behind the last line. So up front in the highest line, when you lose the ball there, it is not so difficult or not so important for us as a team. And finally, he comes a bit closer to the goal, what definitely helps him. But I must say that he also in the preseason plays on the 10 very good position games. So on the highest level, in a moment, I see him more up front, but he has the quality also to play on the 10, yes.
Okay, brilliant. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Neil McClellan.
Hey, good afternoon, Ralph.
Good afternoon.
City were able to spend £100 million on a player this summer, and Chelsea virtually the same for Lukaku. Do you think the gap is getting ever bigger between these top teams and teams like yourself? And do you think it's potentially unfair and potentially bad for the competitiveness of the league?
Yes, no. So that means, yes, I think the gap gets bigger. No, it is not bad for the competition anymore, because we always know that we have our limits. We have different targets than Man City. If you want to compete with the top teams in the league, that means you have to win every week. Then you need to have quality. Otherwise, it is not possible to become champion in the Premier League. So you need to invest, and this is not surprising that they do it. I have not a big problem with this big transfers, to be honest, as long as this money stays in the market, because when Villa gets 100 million for Grealish and we get 30 million for Danny Ings, and we pay 12 or 15 for Adam Armstrong, and then they pay, then this money goes down to the smaller clubs, and this is absolutely okay. I have more problems with transfers from players. They are running out of contracts and nobody gets money instead of the players and the agent, and this is what I have a more problem, to be honest. And I have also no problem competing with players that cost 100 million or more, because in the end, we know that maybe they have more beautiful trees than we have, but we have to look that our wood looks a little bit more compact. And in the end, we can also make a good picture out of it. And that is the way we try to win games. And yeah, this is a different way of doing it, but it's not always about how much money you spend. It's also about how clever you spend it and what you do with them, with the players you have.
You think, just briefly, you can compensate for all how if a £100 million player, if you've got players that are well organised and fight and work for all 90 minutes, you can be equal for them for 90 minutes.
in one game, not equal, but when everything is perfect, you can also win against such a team. We have shown this in the past. Otherwise, we would have never won against Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham, or Chelsea. And we did in the last years since I'm here. Against every of this team, we have minimum one win. In 10 games, you only win one, or maybe draw 2 or 3, and the rest you lose maybe. But this one game is always there to win. And in overall, then you are far behind them. This is clear. But I think especially these games are so special for the Premier League that it is not so easy to go for Man City to come against us and to say, yeah, this is an easy game, we win it definitely. Yeah, makes it so special. And I think the league needs these games to be played also, where underdog wins such a game. And this makes the league special, and it makes it interesting all over the world. This is, I think, why the football is in general so interesting, because these games are happening more often in football than in any other game in the world, I think.
Thank you.